You finally found the one. And I'm talking about that house, the house that checks every box. The kitchen, the yard, even that bonus room you didn't know you needed. But then comes the big question. How much should I offer? Offer too little and you lose that house. Offer too much and you might regret it for years. Today, I'm breaking down how to make an offer that sellers can't refuse. No guessing, no stress, and no overpaying. If you're downsizing, needing to buy a smaller home, and haven't delved into the real estate market for probably decades, here's some useful information on crafting your offer. I've also got a free guide, Homes You Should Never Buy, and that would be regardless of price. I'll put the link in the description below this video. Okay, first you need to understand what really drives your offer. So, before you throw out a number, let's look at a few key factors that actually determine what a smart offer looks like. First of all, let's talk about comparable sales or comps. Always start here. What have similar homes in the neighborhood sold for recently? This gives you your reality check, not what sellers want, but what buyers actually paid. That's the final figure that house sold for, not what it was listed for. Secondly, look at days on market. How long has a house been sitting? A property that's been listed for a while might mean there's room to negotiate. If it's brand new to the market, expect more competition. Number 3, condition of the home. Is it move-in ready or does it need some love? A home that needs updates gives you leverage for a lower offer. But keep in mind that often a home is priced based on its condition, or at least it should have been. So don't expect to get a huge discount. Number 4, your financing. Cash, conventional loan, or FHA. Your offer strength depends heavily on how you're paying. Obviously, cash is king, and a conventional loan that requires 20% down payment will let the seller know that you are financially stable. If FHA, know that this is not the strongest offer and may require the seller to make certain repairs before the home can close. Number 5 is seller motivation. Why are they selling? A seller relocating for work or downsizing fast may be more flexible than one just testing the market. Further conditions. Make sure your agent communicates with the listing agent to see if there are any other conditions which the seller would like to see in the purchase agreement, besides, well, just that price. For instance, if you can wait for 2 months for possession, that could sway the seller to take your offer even if it was lower than an offer requiring possession in 30 days. Now, let's address the overall market. Here in Hamilton County, we still have under 2 months worth of supply of homes, so we are still in a seller's market. But it seems like every month we are moving closer to a normal market, and that's honestly 4 to 6 months worth of supply. So let's talk about both a buyer's and a seller's market. If you're in a buyer's market, which would be over that 6-month supply of homes, you hold the power. In this market, offering 5 to 10% below the list price is often a good starting point. It gives you room to negotiate, but you'll still look serious. I've always heard that if you go more than 10% below, the seller will consider it an insult and won't even bother to counter the offer. And in my experience, that seems to be pretty much correct. Again, when your agent submits the offer, they should always include the comps that back up your price. That's how you prove your offer is fair, not just wishful thinking. And here's a bonus tip. This is also the time to ask for seller concessions. That's money towards your closing costs. It's totally back on the table in many areas. You can also consider offering to buy as is at a lower price if you're comfortable handling repairs later. Cash buyers, listen up. You can often go a bit lower than financed buyers because your offer is clean and fast. No mortgage delays, no appraisal risk. Sellers love that certainty. Just remember, as I said before, don't go too low. An insulting offer can kill the deal before it starts. By the way, just in case you're wondering whose advice you're listening to, I'm Susan Roberts with Homes by Roberts Realty, brokered by eXp, your only AI certified agent in the Indy area. Since I've been a realtor for over 25 years, I've seen all kinds of markets and do know about a lot of the nuances of each. Moving on. Now, when homes are flying off the market in days, that's a seller's market, it's time to bring your A game. And just like in the buyer's market, before writing an offer, make sure your agent calls the listing agent. Find out, are there already offers? How strong are they? You might not get the exact numbers, and you probably won't, but you'll get a sense of where you stand. Plus, also ask if there are any conditions the seller would like that could sweeten the deal. In a hot market, strong offers are typically at 1 to 3% above asking price, but the right number depends on those comps and how much you love the home. So now let's talk contingencies. Never, ever waive inspections completely. You can limit them instead to major items like structure, mechanics, and safety. You don't want a surprise $30,000 repair later. Next up, let's talk about appraisal gaps. If a home doesn't appraise for your offer price, the gap is the difference. You'll need to cover it in cash. Some buyers choose to limit that gap, for example, agreeing to pay up to $15,000 over the appraised value instead of the full difference. Always discuss this strategy with your lender before you write the offer. And what about escalation clauses? These are your secret weapon in a competitive market, sort of. An escalation clause automatically increases your offer by a set amount above competing offers up to your max price. For example, if a buyer offers $610,000, I'll go up to $615,000 with a max of $625,000. That's the simplified version. It keeps you in the game without overpaying from the start. But, and this is a but with capital letters, make sure you have a way to verify the other offers because you've just told that seller that you'll pay more. They can sometimes cause more issue than they are worth. And that's, again, my personal opinion. Now, let's address other terms or conditions besides price. Price isn't everything. Sellers value certainty and convenience. If they need extra time to move, offer a lease-back, letting them stay after closing for 30 days while they transition. That small gesture can win you the deal, even if someone else offers a bit more money. Maybe allow the seller to leave some items they don't want to move. When your offer is packaged neatly, strong price, clear terms, and thoughtful timing, it tells the seller, we're serious and we're easy to work with. So here's my final thoughts. The golden rule: never overbid beyond what you can comfortably afford. Never overbid. Always have your walkaway number in your head. The highest price where you're still happy, even if the deal doesn't happen. That's your peace of mind number. And above all, work with a skilled agent, like me, of course, who knows the local market and negotiates like a pro. Having the right guidance can make the difference between winning your dream home or watching someone else move into it. If you're ready to buy and want a local expert to guide you through the offers, negotiations, and strategy, let's connect. I'll help you make an offer that gets accepted without regrets.